Good morning, everyone. Before we start our lesson this morning, may I request everyone to give a moment of silence as we put ourselves in the presence of the Lord. Let us all pray. Thank you, Lord, first. Amen. So, how are you guys? How's your weekend? Is it fun? Although that we are just staying in our home, I hope that you guys are having fun. And I am so happy today that I can see that there's no one absent. Everybody is present. So, last time we discussed about the elements of fiction. Today, we are still gonna talk about fiction, but it's another subtopic under the fiction. So we will find out about that as we go on in our lesson. But before we start, I want you to open up our chat box. So everyone got to open their chat box? Alright. So what you're going to do is that I'm going to flash scrambled words here in the screen. And what you are going to do is that you are going to write in the chat box a message that can be seen by everyone, the correct word that I am referring. Alright? So whoever type the correct letter or correct word first will be the winner. Alright? Everyone's ready? Alright, let's start. Okay, storytelling, very good. How about this one? Okay, Anna got it. Elements. Now this one. Okay, Mio, parts. How about this? Okay, very good, Joanne. Structures. How about this one? Alright, Jamie, sequence. So, all of these words are all related to what we are going to talk about this morning. So, are you ready? Okay, let's go on. Our topic this morning is about parts of a plot structure. The parts of a plot structure are exposition, rising action, climax, falling action or denouement, and the resolution. But first, before we proceed, let us first define what is a plot. What is a plot? So, the plot of a story is a series of interconnected events in which every occurrence has a specific purpose. A plot is all about establishing connections, suggesting causes, and showing relationships. So, in short, a plot is a sequence of events. Now, let's go to the parts of plot. First, we have here the exposition. So it is the beginning of the story. It is where you introduce your characters, establish the setting, and begin to introduce the primary conflict of your story. Number 2 is rising action. It is the point where the main problem or conflict is being revealed. So this is the part where where the author will be identifying the conflict in his or her story. So the third one is the climax. So climax is the turning point of the story, often centered around the protagonist's most difficult challenge or their bleakest moment. So in our previous lesson, we have learned that protagonist is otherwise known as the main character of the story. Very good. So fourth one is the falling action or denouement. Is the point that occurs immediately after the climax and reveals the details of the consequences, good or bad, that the main character must deal with after the turning point of the events. So, class, I want you to take note that falling action is just the result of the climax. So, whatever happened to the climax, it will be resolved in the falling action. So the fifth one is the resolution. It is the part where the protagonist resolves the conflicts and the loose ends of the storyline. So in our previous lesson, we discussed about the different ends of the story. So it could be a hanging ending wherein the reader will be the one to decide what is the ending, or it is a close-end ending where there is actually an ending stated in the story. So, I know that you guys are all familiar with this, so let's proceed now to our example. So, I have here an example about the Three Little Pigs. So, these Three Little Pigs the events in the Three Little Pigs story is categorized according to the plot of the story. So first is the exposition in the story is where the Three Little Pigs leaves home for the first time. And then is the gradual rise of action is when the pig one builds a house of straw. The event 2 is the big bad wolf blows house down and eats the pig number 1. The event number 3 is when pig number 2 builds a house of wood, but then the big bad wolf blew it away and ate the pig number 2. The 5th is that pig number 3 built a house of bricks, and the big bad wolf can blow down the brick of house. Of course, who can blow a strong and sturdy house, right? So the climax here is when the wolf gets frustrated and jumps down the chimney to get to pig number 3. The falling action is that instead of falling down under the chimney, he falls down into a boiling pot of water. And the resolution here is that pig number 3 eats the big bad wolf. So you got it, guys? That is the plot of the story about the Three Little Pigs is when you sequence the events that happening inside the story. So last time, when in our last meeting, I asked you to read the story about Little Red Riding Hood. So I assume that every one of you have read the story already, right? I want to see the hands of those students who haven't read the story about Little Red Riding Hood. Okay, very good. So I bet that everyone must read the story. So let's proceed. Let's identify the elements or the parts of a plot structure in the story Little Red Riding Hood. So it is when Red's father is walking her home safely. So what do you think is the part of the plot where Red father is walking her home safely? Very good, Justin. It's the resolution. How about this one? The wolf ran away because he is afraid of the axe. Okay, good job, Samantha. It's the falling action. How about this one? When Red meets the wolf into the woods and when the wolf pretended to be her granny. Okay, Kyle, it's the rising action. Very good. How about this one? The big bad wolf is about to eat Red. Okay, Michael, it's the climax. Very good. How about this one? When we meet Red, her father, a woodcutter, and why she needs to go through the woods. Alright, Kyler, it's the exposition. So very good, everyone. Good job. You already mastered your lesson even if we are just lecturing in a very short period of time. So, in summary, let us go back to what is an exposition. It is where the characters, settings, and situation. Very good. How about the rise in action? Alright, it is where the conflict is being revealed. Now, what is a climax? Alright, a point of greatest interest or suspense. The following action. Shows what happens because of the climax. And the last one is, alright, the resolution. It is where the final outcome of the story is being told. Well, very good, everyone. You did a very great job. Now, I think that you are all ready for our quiz this morning. Are you? Alright, very good. You are all ready. Now, I want you to look at the screen. We have test 1, test 2, and test 3 here. Now, what I want you to do is to put your answer in our chat box. Alright, you should enumerate your answer in our chat box. And once you're done, you click send. Okay, you got it, guys? Okay, so you have only 15 minutes to answer this. Okay, are we good? Alright, so 15 minutes starts now. So everyone, 15 minutes is over. Okay? I bet that everyone had already passed their quizzes. Alright, now for your assignment. for your assignment, I want you to look for a short story or your favorite story, and you will identify the elements of a plot in the story and write it on your assignment notebook. But if you have our group page, if you are in our group page, you can just post it there. But if you are going to write it in your assignment notebook, you can just take a picture of it and send it in our chat box. Alright, everyone. So you did a great job today. I am so happy that you were attentive, listening to me. Okay, so you may now go to your next class. Goodbye, everyone. See you next week.